As I'm sure you can tell by the intro, today we're talking about horns. We're getting horny. If you have a class car, a lot like myself clearly, the horns are weak, as you just heard it. Pretty easy to get yourself dual air horn set up. Or even one of these fancy self-contained units. This is off my RX-7. I may not be able to fit it anymore because of the oil cooler situation. I'll show you more of that later. Got a big update on the RX-8 coming, or RX-7-8 I guess you could say. For now, work on this piece of garbage because it's much needed. Jesus! Just me noticing a bit of an exhaust problem. Nothing to worry about. Horns. Simple things. Normally 1 to 3 wires. Maybe they have a few more. Maybe you have more than one horn. This car has 2 from the factory. Some cars have 4. Ludicrous. We're going with these 2 trumpet style horns, I guess you would say. And this little air compressor here. Maybe I'll go with this one, but it's a real simple DIY. I'll show you everything you gotta do. Some of this stuff is used. I've had crazy horns on like all my cars. Even the lifted Miata had a boat horn on it. Well, technically big rig. Good stuff. Gotta get people out of the way. All these old horns, they can't hear when they're listening to their Katy Perry and Bruno Mars. They cranked up to, 40 on the old volume knob. They can't hear these old horns. Gotta get them out of the way. The great man once said, move, etc. Get out of my way. Get out the way. You know what I'm saying. Getting horny. Let's get into it. So, work on the Volvo, of course. The Volvo comes apart like Legos. The Swedes are just great. I got 2 twist knobs, pop out the grill, easy as pie. Got my factory horns here. They are spade connectors, luckily enough. This one just seems to be laying here. It happens. Pull off these connectors, they're just spades. Luckily, our compressor is just spades as well. It's already pre-wired. Going on this project, wiring is fairly easy. If you need to crimp on new spades, you just trim off the old ones, crimp them on up. Go ahead and pull off these stock guys here though, because we will no longer need those. This one seems to be a little bit tight. Tight like a toilet. Don't want to jam my hand in that awesome AC condenser there, because that wouldn't be very nice. But we'll find some goofy spot to put the compressor here. There's a whole bunch of holes in the car like Swiss cheese. They prepared for this accommodation, or accommodated for this sort of thing I got going on here. But now we're going to find a spot to mount it. Alright, got the old junk horns off. Toss them, of course. Maybe we'll keep them around just in case we need to fit on something else. Got the new compressor mounted up in the stock location. Seems like it should do alright. See her hiding down there. Got the stock wiring here, of course. Like I said, it is wired up for 2 horns. So there's 2 separate sets of spade connectors. But I'll go ahead and show you which terminals you want to use right quick. If you've watched the other part of the Volvo series, you've seen me use this guy before. Go ahead and set her 12 volts. And just to prove to you we're in the right location here, you go ahead and take the red, put it in this yellow spade connector here, or the spade connector with the yellow wire, because the spade, of course, is not yellow. Black and black. Shove her on down in there. You'll see we're getting some fluctuating millivolts. That's normal, of course. Now, I won't be able to see this, but you will, so hopefully you can prove to me that it reads 12 volts or efficient. Go ahead and we'll test the horn out right quick. Hopefully I'm hitting the button adequately. Should have seen that red somewhere in the area of 12-ish volts. Back down to fluctuating millivolts. Most of the currents in your car and the wiring, you'll see millivolts everywhere, fluctuating back and forth. But go ahead and put that guy away now, because we're no longer going to need him. Like I said before, if you have spade connectors, it's going to make this small project here real easy. We're going to go ahead and just pull that spade connector out, find the positive. It's marked on the back of the compressor, positive and negative. Plug the positive in. The boot's still there to protect it all nicely. Take the negative. In my situation, I got to pull them out of these little desk covers here and these corrosion covers. All nice and happy on top of new spades. Kept all the factory wiring, so in case you have to pass inspection like we do here in PA with stock horns and stock horn location, you'll be alright. Go ahead and test out if this guy works now. Sounds like a little air ratchet. Of course, that time it was without the horns, but you will definitely not hear that sound coming from the pump when you have the horns on. Just for a test, we'll plug the hose on. Maybe I want to recut this end. She's a bit oversized by now. Cut off the old hose end, in my situation at least. Give her a nice push fitting on there. They'll find somewhere to mount these eventually. But for right now, we'll just kind of yeet them up in there. See if we can tuck them around this pump here. So whenever I go to mount them, we'll mount them some way in this direction. Most likely, I should say at least. Seems as though I may have skipped out on part of there somehow, but nonetheless, got the horn in, shortened up the one hose, got it all sorted. She's nice and toyed in there. Toy like a toy girl. So we'll slap this guy back up in there. I'm going to have to make some sort of mount for it because, of course, with the few deer that's come in contact with, it's not very happy about staying in anymore. Funny enough, that's the only major damage the car has seen from deer, is the grill being messed up. But that should sit in there for a long enough period of time. We'll see. We'll see. Well, my dad pulled in on his motorcycle, so I had to cut that part of the video out because it was a bit loud, so it distracted from what's all going on here. But I got the horn all mounted up. As you saw, I got the grill back in. She's all tidy back there. You can't even tell it's in there, really. I mean, for a red horn, it's all hidden away. You never know. But this is why you need yourself a loud horn on your old car. There you have it. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Come again. Like I said, got a whole bunch of RX-7 and stuff coming. Gonna spoil it here for a second. Woo!